House hunting in Bangalore can be tough, but I successfully found this lovely apartment. In this video, I will share my experience and I hope that it helps you as well. So I'll briefly tell you about my background and give you a bit of context. So I initially moved in Bangalore in August 2021 and I was living in a PG for a month. After that, I started my solo travels, so I moved out again. And then I moved back in November 2021. I was living in a co-living space, simultaneously searching for a flat, a 1 BHK in that neighborhood. And I finally found this flat via an agent. So you may ask, what are the options available in Bangalore? You can go for a PG, backpackers hostel. Another option could be a co-living space. Fourth, you can share a flat with your friends or others. And fifth, you can have a whole apartment to yourself. PGs are an economical option if your budget is low or you don't want to commit to a flat, and usually PGs provide housekeeping, electricity, water, food and Wi-Fi as well, and everything is included in your rent. However, there is a deposit but it's nominal, and there can be an exit charge as well if you want to leave before the agreement is over. There are tons of options for PGs here, both for men and women, and there are unisex PGs as well. I was staying in a unisex PG. Please be cautious while selecting a PG because there are sketchy ones as well. Especially women, please be careful, you don't want to get into trouble. Backpackers hostel, I would recommend it for a short term stay. It's hella fun to live in a backpackers co-living space. So basically, you're sharing a flat with others, but it's via a website. So I was living in a co-living space. It was a 3 BHK and I had a room to myself. There were no deposits and I had booked this through Airbnb, but you can just call them up and reserve a room. And there were no deposits as such. A flat which you are willing to share with your friends or strangers. You can find those on flat and flatmate groups on Facebook, and you can share the living expenses with your other flatmates. The option which I opt for is having a flat all to myself. So you can again search for flats via Facebook groups or through a broker. I got it through a broker. The first one would be join flat and flatmate group on Facebook. Second would be that please go and visit the properties yourself. Check them out, check them well, or check the whole neighborhood and then go for a flat. A third would be negotiate the price with the broker or the owner. Fourth recommendation would be check with the owner which water source they are using. Is it a borewell or Kaveri? Please go for flats with Kaveri water because the borewell water is too hard and it is very harsh for your hair and skin. Another recommendation would be for those people who are moving here for the first time and are not living in Bangalore currently. As I mentioned earlier, it would be better if you go and visit the property yourself. But if you're moving here for the first time and you don't have any place to stay, I would suggest you to live in the neighborhood that you want and stay for a short term, so you can go for co-live spaces or a backpackers hostel. Stay there, search for flats around that neighborhood and then choose a flat. Now my approach to this. First of all, my PG. So I booked it online, there was a booking charge and a deposit of 1 month. So in my PG, I didn't go for the sharing option. It was a single occupancy room, and there was an exit charge as well because I stayed only for a month. For me, the electricity and food was not included, but it was nominal. I was living in Zolo stays, but I do not recommend you guys to subscribe to the food that they are providing because I didn't have a great experience with that. Then afterwards, I was living in a co-living space. It was nice. I purposely chose a co-live space where I actually wanted to live, and it was near to my office so that I could search for flats when I was free. So while living in the co-living space, I rented one two-wheeler, and in my free time I used to go around the neighborhood to search for flats. Usually people post an ad outside the apartment, so I used to collect those numbers while roaming around the neighborhood, and used to call them up and stuff. Then I found few properties via No Broker. So No Broker in that site, there are no agents. You can directly go to the owner. And finally, I found this flat via Housing.com. So on Housing.com, as I used to collect brokers' numbers, I used to go and I used to call them up and visit the properties myself. And I actually found a broker on Flat and Flatmates as well. So yes, I finalized this flat and found this place via a broker. Now the whole expense for this flat. My rent is 9,000 rupees per month. The maintenance is 250 rupees. The deposit is 60,000. There was a brokerage charge. It was around 7,000. So there was a token money that I had to give before going into the agreement, and it was a part of the deposit. So 60,000 was my deposit and the token was 10,000. Do read the agreement carefully. There is a misconception that I want to bust, is that people are claiming that the owners can only charge up to 2-3 months of deposit, which is not the case. It was a suggestion. Actually asked my sister, who's a law student, to research about it if there is a rule, and she told me that it was just suggested to the court and currently it hasn't been implemented. And in my clause, after I exit, I have to give a month's rent to my owner. This was my total expense. You can obviously negotiate with the owners and get a good deal. However, I'm not that great at it, but still I tried my best and brought it down to 9,000. You can check my house tour video here if you are interested in how I transformed my living room. You can watch it here.